Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Random Fact Mondays, where wemi... anyway, we are going to do...
What were you going to say?
Where wemi mocks me.
Oh, I wasn't mocking you.
Oh, okay. It just seemed like you were mouthing the words.
No, I wasn't. I was just doing my own thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so since we are actually in, well, not fully in, but we're thinking about getting a new car.
For this guy, not for me. My car is perfect.
Wemi doesn't like my Corolla, so we're thinking about...
It's done its job. It's serviced you well enough.
It has been a fantastic car. It's never let me down at all. There's nothing wrong with it to date.
You don't have to wait till something breaks to get a new car, because then this car won't be worth anything.
I'm just advertising that it's still a good car.
Okay.
Nothing wrong.
Okay.
Man. Yeah, she really doesn't like it. Gosh.
Let's get to it.
So, we're going to, in light of that, we're going to share some car facts, which we thought were kind of cool.
And our own personal facts.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be in charge of that one.
Okay.
So start thinking now. So the first one was the first ever car accident occurred in 1891 in Ohio. Just kind of crazy that that's like.
Well, when was the first car
built,
introduced on the road?
I don't know. I know in the early 1900s was when the Model T and the mass production of it, and they became readily available. So I knew it was before that, but it's at some point when are you? It's if you're the only one driving.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's going to be other cars in your vicinity to get into a car accident.
But it's
and if there were 5 of you in your neighborhood and you 2 dumb butts got into a car accident, really, guys, there's only 5 of you.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was a T-bone or something, or just rear-ending? It's stop following so closely. We're the only guys with cars.
Yeah.
We're getting there faster than everybody else.
But then I guess the roads wouldn't have been that good and stuff like that.
Well, because the roads would have just been trails that horse and buggy probably would have trampled down. So, which is kind of funny.
And maybe brakes weren't as good, so maybe it was just a stop-in issue.
Well, yeah, I don't even the first car might not have even really had brakes kind of thing.
So it was just they were two of them on the road. They're like, uh-oh, usually there's only 1 car on the road.
Yeah.
And then there was 2, and it's
figure it out.
We don't know what to do. Let's just crash. It's much easier. So they just did that.
I hope, I wonder the first fatal crash. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Because the first one, you never know. He might even crash into a tree or into a ditch or something. That might have counted. But I'd be curious what the first,
Well, the image was 2 cars, so I don't know why I assumed it was 2 cars.
The image was a pile-up, so...
Oh, okay.
A pile-up of all these, Model Ts.
I automatically assumed it was, 2 cars that hit each other.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's also interesting, too, is, the fact that the car, came after, horse and buggy, right? So horse and buggy almost dictated the size of a car because the wheelbase had to basically fit in those tracks kind of thing.
Because they'd already created that.
Right. So it's
the infrastructure you have.
What if horse and buggies were all motorcycle size?
And we'd all be riding single, baby.
These little I don't know, one person in a line cars kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway, kind of cool how we got here. So.
Next.
When the car radio was introduced, some states wanted to ban it, arguing that it could distract drivers and cause accidents. Which is very interesting because we're in that debate kind of now with texting and driving.
Just new technology.
Yeah, it came out with cell phones when people were on their cell phones or whatever. And I guess what's interesting is because car phones were a thing, I don't know, 20 years ago
they
or
were
so.
Definitely a thing.
But that was never an issue because only a handful of people had. Yeah. So it has to be something that comes out where everybody gets it.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's interesting and I don't know if there's anyone out there who still would be whoa, let's get these radios out of here, yeah.
But you know what is interesting?
Yeah.
When you are doing your driving test, you can't have the radio on because they say, one of the reasons is distracting.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't recall
have the
that.
radio on while you do your driving test.
I don't recall doing it either way, but yeah. That's interesting. See, it's funny too, and it's because one thing that I've told you is when you see people, and if you're one of these people, oh man, driving with headphones in, and both ears having headphones in, you have music playing probably on your phone or whatever. I think that's a bit of distracted driving because you can't hear the road, you can't hear the actual surroundings around you. But then at the same time, if you turn your radio up real loud, you can't. But I don't know. Wemi disagrees.
It doesn't bug me, but Dave doesn't like it at all.
I just think it's it's a little. It's less safe than otherwise. Like, for emergency vehicles and things like that. I'm not saying it's dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't want to, be an extremist that way or anything. Because it's like, yeah, deaf people can drive. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it's just, if you have the option, listen to the radio through your car. And just a little quieter.
Next.
So this one's just kind of funny. It's apparently, and these are unverified, I guess, so I don't want to take any credit for it, but it's a criminal offense to drive around in a dirty car in Russia.
Any of our Russian viewers out there, please tell us if that's true or not.
And if it is, do you just, if you grew up in Russia and moved to another country?
Or you just you guys are disgusting.
Or are you keeping your car just spotless or whatever, and what's the level? Is it also,
which might explain how people who get their car washed in the middle of winter when it's just it's just gonna get there. There's a snowstorm tonight.
Yeah.
There's only to wash your car right now.
Yeah. I wonder if it's just the outside. I would hope it's just the outside. Otherwise, I'd be put in jail. I'd just be right away. So yeah, so it's just kind of funny. I think I got.
There's mine.
Yeah, there we go. There are. Do you want to share it?
Sure.
Okay, go.
There are more cars than people in Los Angeles.
That's
which
stupid.
Is crazy.
Yeah.
But you know what I realized
What?
is, we were watching the Mayweather special yesterday.
Yes.
There are lots of people like that in LA who have multiple
6
cars.
of
They
their,
just
yeah.
leave parked in their big fancy houses that
Yeah.
they never drive. So in that sense, it's I can easily see it.
Right, but it's still crazy
It
to
is
think,
very crazy.
because sure.
Which also explains why they have the craziest traffic in LA.
Because it is funny. It's sure, yeah, you get some people, Jay Leno's one. He's a car collector, so he has a ton of cars.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still, you have let's say the average family of 4 kind of thing. It's 2 of them are kids. You got to make up for all these cars too.
Yeah,
and
that's
there's a
true.
lot.
Got to make up for the numbers of
Right.
young people that can't drive.
And there's way more families than there are Floyd Mayweathers or Jay Leno's.
Are there though?
I think so.
Are there?
I'm pretty sure. And actually, you know what? Yes. Are you
In
kidding
LA?
me? In LA, there's 17 million people or 15 million people in LA.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and
That's a lot of people.
Sure. And if you think that there's more Manny Pacquiao's Floyd Mayweather types than there are just average families.
Because I think the standard of living there is much higher.
Sure.
So I think because of that, maybe people just have more cars.
They do in general, but it's still in sheer numbers. There's more normal people.
There are enough Floyd Mayweathers to cover the rest of the population.
There clearly are.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy. There was another stat, this one was kind of boring, but earlier on, is that today there's 1 billion cars in the world, in use in the world. And I don't know what in use means. I wonder if all Floyd Mayweathers counts, but I think they would. I think it basically means not in a junkyard.
Okay, yeah.
So anyway, if there's 1 billion cars, there's 7 billion people. 1 in 7 in the world has a car, which is okay. So there, but then in LA, 1 in 1. Wow.
Yeah. In LA, it's not even 1 in 1. It's 0.5 in. What would the stat be?
Well, it's anywhere between 1 in 1 and 1 point.
That's what
one
and
or
1.1
it's
in
more
1.
than
Yeah,
1
that's what I was
per
going
one,
for.
yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's crazy.
So yeah, no, that is crazy. I think that was that all. The inventor of cruise control was blind. That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Nothing. Yeah, I think.
Oh, I wanted to kind of. I was
Sure.
interested about,
Let's ask
interested
this
about
one.
this.
Because this one's really unverified. Because
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's interesting.
Most new cars fake engine noise through speakers. They are quite silent otherwise.
Yeah.
It's funny because I can actually believe it.
Okay.
Because I've heard.
Sorry, I'm fine. I kicked my toe. Sorry, guys.
I've heard that people like engine noise because they know their car is on. Otherwise,
Okay.
people have this is my car on fear
Fear.
going on. So because of that, I've heard that there is engine noise now. Whether that's fake or whether they just, don't remove it when they could remove it.
Right.
Whether that's what it is, I'm not sure. But I have heard of that
Well,
being a thing. Because even I have an issue. My car is pretty quiet for the kind of, for a car.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times when I'll turn it on all the way. But I'm like, this sounds like it's not like completely on, and I do it again. I'm like, nope, it's on.
See, it's interesting. So I have two parts. I have one argument on each side. So which would you like first?
Just shoot straight.
Okay, so the side that says, yeah, it's possible is that there's also the concept of keyboards. So keyboards for your computer, like they make noise. All of them make the just a little bit of a clicking noise, and that's because when they originally came out, people were used to typewriters, and a lot of journalists, especially a lot of writers, people who use typewriters a lot, got these keyboards that were silent and were freaking out because they're used to writing alone, but still being sound because of the typewriter. So then they introduced keyboards with sound to help them, and then that's just what stuck. So I can see it being the case, kind of going hand in hand with that. On the flip side, though, it's like, okay, let's say I get your point. Is like, yeah, you know, you want to know when your car starts. Your car, when you're actually starting it, like when it's turning over, it's like it makes noise, you know, and then it's fairly quiet. So if you're parked and it's completely silent, yeah, sure, you might not know, and then you might try and turn over again. But what about driving then? Make them, because no car is silent while driving, and I know my car is on while I'm driving because I'm literally, you know, so
now that I've also heard actually, but I didn't want to say this earlier because the whole speaker thing kind of disqualifies in a sense. But I've also heard that their engine noise is important for pedestrians to know that cars are around them and so they hear the sound of a car. So I've heard that before, but then if they're doing it through speakers, I don't know how that would travel out.
Yeah, well, it depends where the speaker is, but like that's why
unless speakers, it's underneath the car.
The speaker piece feels the most weird. Yeah, because I think you said, I don't know if you said it off camera or on camera, was about the whether it's the fact that they can make them silent.
I said that on, yeah.
Okay, or just choose
not to make it silent.
Like I think, but then adding a speaker, like that just seems weird. That's the part that is weird to me. And I get about pedestrians, but it's like I feel like there's just enough noise in, you know, tires rolling on pavement, like, you know, it makes that like almost like a sticky sound because like a
and I hear when you're pulling up. But I think that's just because you have an old car.
I do not have an old car. Don't listen to her. God. Anyway, so those are our car facts. I'm going to turn it over to Wemi. Hopefully you guys, you know, learn something new. The other one that I'm just going to toss out there
go right ahead.
Is that Volkswagen. You know how a lot of car companies own each other or whatever, like, you know, Lexus and Toyota are
models,
together.
Different makes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And Honda and Acura and, you know, Chevy and GM and Pontiac's on, but all those, Cadillac, whatever. The one I didn't know that I just learned was Volkswagen owns Bugatti, Porsche, Maserati, Bentley, just a whole bunch. I want to get back to it, I'm sorry. But it's crazy. I did not know that Volkswagen had that many. Oh God, I'm so sorry, guys. I know it's here somewhere. Where are you? Oh, there it is. Okay, so Bentley, Bugatti, Lamborghini, Audi, Ducati, and Porsche.
I knew they owned Audi.
Yeah, you said one that didn't actually exist. But anyway. Oh, I didn't know that.
Bugatti.
I said Bugatti. Anyway, whatever.
I said a B.
So it was those. It was those. Anyway, so it's crazy. Like I didn't know they even owned Audi. You've never told me that.
Sorry, I knew that.
Anyway, yeah, so that's crazy. Good for Volkswagen. Usually I thought it was only two. I thought GM was the only, like, a big player with, like, a bunch of names. Especially back in the day.
Yeah, they might have been back in the day.
What, GM? GM totally was. It was like Pontiac, Saturn, Oldsmobile,
They had a lot.
Oh, it was
I'm glad they got rid of them.
Many. And then, that was, don't get me started about GM. I grew up near Oshawa, and so big GM plants and stuff there. And man, it was just so silly to see so many of the same car, but different stamp on the end. Just so dumb. Anyway, my rant.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Well, because then they had to lay a bunch of people off. Terrible.
I see.
Yeah. So what do you got?
All right. So I've got two paths we can go on.
Okay.
There's a path of these like funky psych type questions that I've heard before. But I can't, like, I don't want to answer them because I know what they mean. So you'd be the only person answering the question.
What? So how would that prevent you from just answering honestly?
But I know what they mean, so it's not as fun.
So I have to be ignorant? What if I don't? What if I know what they mean?
I don't know. Anyways. So that's one, and then
Okay.
the other is I just found a bunch of like random questions, so I can just choose on that.
See. What do you guys want? This isn't live. Ask me one of the first ones.
One of the first, like one?
Yeah.
If you found yourself in a white space, what would you do?
What? Sleep.
Okay.
Go.
I see. The first time I was asked that question, my answer was that I would try to find a way out.
Seems silly. Why? It's white. It's nice. It's comforting.
Why am I there? I was like, because I'm
Who
like,
cares?
why am I here? How did I get here? Are there windows? Like, am I just sitting here? Like,
somebody-
I want to get out because I don't know what's going on.
Because I figured I'm not allowed to ask questions is the whole reason that it's a psych question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what, yeah, I'd be comfortable. Beautiful.
He's a weirdo.
Anyway, next.
You know what it means? You want to share what it means? It's
Uh,
supposed to mean
okay.
that if you're, like, if you stay in the room and you decide to get creative with the room or whatever, the idea was, like, I believe it was about commitment.
Okay.
So it was, yeah, you're cool with commitment, and then if you left or whatever it was, you know.
I just love how, so it's like, some people, you said you could like do something with the room,
Yeah.
so like paint it or whatever,
Yeah.
right? Well, based on because now you're making assumptions as opposed to asking questions, which is silly. So it's like, yeah, I'll paint the room. Where'd you get paint from? What?
It was, that's the thing, it's an imaginative question. You can do whatever you want to do. Find yourself in a white space, what would you do?
But it's like, it's just so funny.
And this is why you're not, it's okay. It's okay. That's the kind of personality you have. Some people are very creative and their first thought would be,
Oh, no,
I'm going to draw, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like,
That's fine. But
yeah.
I already knew that I wasn't allowed to ask questions.
Okay.
So based on not...
You can ask questions.
No, but based on not being able... Okay, so then
You
what...
can't do these things with Dave because he
I
just...
know.
He takes
'Cause
to a
I-
whole deep place. I'm
'cause I
like,
think
really? It's not
logically.
this deep. Just stop.
Because I think logically.
Just
so
stop.
Because if I can ask a question,
Yep.
honestly, my first question is what else is there?
What else is there in the room?
Oh, it's a room. Okay, sure.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, it's a space.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else is there? Whatever you want to.
But a space. Because I was taking it, very blank slate-ish. I was trying to just, go. It could have just been like a universe.
It could have been a universe.
Could have been like an after-death kind of
Whatever
thing.
it is, I want out.
But it's like
I want to see something familiar.
there is nothing to get out of in my realm.
Yeah, because
right?
you're just like, commitment, let's do this. Boom, I'm here to stay.
No. But that
Whereas
was
that was like,
that was because I didn't ask the question. Because if I asked you the question, I said, "What is there?" If you said it was a room, my answer would be different.
okay.
Because then all of a sudden it's a room. It's like, okay, go figure out where I am. Like, do I have my phone in my pocket? Anyway.
Anyway, so that one was silly. I think another one was, what's your favorite wild animal? If you could be a wild animal, which one would you be or something like
Okay,
that? Yeah.
okay. Wild animal? Has
Yeah.
to be a wild animal. Wolf.
Wolf, okay. And then, so why? You're supposed to say
Just
why.
badass.
Okay.
And it's just, he's a leader and tough and fierce but compassionate because they're a pack animal and they can raise their young and just be they're like I think they're a lot like us.
Okay. What about your favorite?
What would you be?
Your favorite domestic animal?
A dog.
Why?
Because they're badass. I'd really be a Siberian Husky, which is pretty damn close to a wolf.
Okay.
So
That's your
same
reason?
reasons.
Because they're badass?
They'd be the same reasons.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. I've never heard that.
Had
So
what?
pretty much what that question's supposed to mean is your favorite wild animal is how you want to be seen or how you see yourself.
Okay.
And then your domestic is how others see you. So that was interesting that it's the
Yeah.
same. Yeah, you rarely get people who have the exact same reason. So it's just like you see yourself differently than others see you and perceive you.
You know why I'm not very good to play these games with? It's because I challenge the answer that you give.
Okay.
So you're like, this means this.
Mm-hmm.
No, it does not. It means whatever the hell that my mind that's all.
It's just like a fun thing.
I know,
It's not
and that's
actual
why I'm
real
not-
psychology,
yeah.
guys. So I'm just throwing that out there. It's just like a fun, like.
So I'm not actually attacking you, but that's why it's not
Okay.
fun with me.
Gotcha.
That's
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what would you be?
My favorite wild animal is, funny enough,
It's not favorite.
same thing that I
okay.
would be, and is my favorite is the
Okay.
Siberian tiger.
Oh,
Yeah.
Those are different.
Cause they're just amazing. They're beautiful. They're powerful.
Are they the
they're
white ones?
yeah.
Yeah.
they're not always white.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry.
But they're gorgeous. They're
Are they white?
strong. But they're strong. They are just everything.
Okay.
Beautiful.
What about domestic?
And then domestic, I used to always say, I believe, a fish. Because they're easy to take care of. They ain't got problems. Like, they're just chilling.
And which is domestic? That's the one people see you?
Yeah.
Easy to take care of. Low maintenance. Oh yeah, that's wemi.
Anyways.
Do one personal one.
Okay. What do you want? We have personal history, personal questions, what if questions. 23. Number 23.
Michael Jordan.
Okay.
This is going on a little long, but it's a good one.
Number 23. If you were reincarnated as an animal, drink, or ice cream flavor, what would it be?
I would be the drink. I would be milk. Just because I'm 90% milk. So I just feel like that's the natural thing. It's just, you know, like
they pump you right now. It's all milk in there.
Call a spade a spade.
I see.
What would you be?
I think I would have to stick to what I just said. I would be a Siberian tiger. Simply because it's been the one stable thing in the last 15 years of my life. I've always loved it. My drink taste has changed. My ice cream flavor taste has changed. But that's always my favorite wild animal.
What's your ice cream flavor change?
What do you mean?
Like you've never gone from chocolate to vanilla.
I used to love Neapolitan.
But not the chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Not anymore. You could not feed me chocolate ice cream to pay me or if to save my life. I'd be like, no, thank you. I hate chocolate ice cream.
That's funny.
But yeah, so that has changed over time. Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Alrighty.
Alright, enough Random Fact Monday. That was long.
Whew, I'm hot.
I really am hot as well.
Alright.
Open the window. It's hot out here today.
We'll
see you guys next
later.
time. Bye.